In the headlines, collation of election results commences nationwide. Voting continues in some polling units as persons with disability express mixed feelings on electoral process. Fire outbreak consumes goods worth millions of naira in Maiduguri market inferno. And on the foreign scene, Turkey launches probe into 612 people after quakes. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. Collation of presidential and National Assembly results has commenced amidst tight security at the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC office in Gusau local government of Zamfara State. The election, which was concluded at most polling units late Saturday, was observed to be peaceful and devoid of violence across the state. The exercise is being carried out in the presence of political party agents, representatives of civil society organizations, security agencies and the media. There were hitches recorded in some polling units as the bimodal voting aggregation system BVAS could not authenticate some registered voters. Some of the voters attributed the delay in the exercise to the transfer of some voters to some of the newly created polling units. Salis Lawan from Yola brings us up to speed with developments at the Collation Center.
National Electoral Commission headquarters in Adamawa, where currently the preparation of the collations from across the 21 local government areas in earnest, which was later to take place at exactly 12 noon. But as we speak now, none of the local governments is here to submit its result, though it's slated for 12 o'clock. You can see the heavy security here are all set, ready, waiting for the exact time.
Member representing Ekiti, Eshin, Irepodun and Okerero Federal Constituency, Tunji Olawuji, has been declared winner of Saturday's election. Olawi is re-elected on the APC platform. INEC returning officer Dr. Nuruddin Bello declared Olawi as the winner at the Collation Center at Umuarang on Sunday. Announcing the official results, Bello said out of the 59,075 accredited voters, APC polled a total of 22,140, with PDP polling 19,092, while the Social Democratic Party polled 933. Some electorates in Lagos have applauded the Independent National Electoral Commission for introducing the BVAS into the 2023 election. Trust TV's Abbas Ibrahim, who observed the election in Agege, Ikeja, Mushin and Idiaraba area of Lagos, said the exercise was orderly and peaceful, even though it recorded low turnout.
Election materials in some areas of Agege and Yanakbaja were distributed around 8 a.m. However, some electorates complained about the late arrival of the electoral officials in their polling units. Emeka Okafor was the first person to vote in his polling unit in Ikeja, said the process went well.
Everything went well. However, I noticed that there was lack of trained INEC official in this polling unit. I don't know, maybe they didn't train them very well before they came here, so there were some disparities in the operation. So, but we appreciate God that everything went well, and I've casted my votes. I noticed around that there's limited security. I can't really even see any security personnel here.
He said using the VBAS is a plus to the electoral process in Nigeria.
It's a plus, but I think I would recommend that Nigeria go a step further. This is a plus, but we can do better. Instead of making it a hybrid, we can make it fully electronic, where your fingerprint is your identity, and you can just vote directly through the machine and not adding an extra layer on top of it.
Another voter, George Wachuku, said The difference between the 2023 election and the previous ones is clear.
I can say the difference is clear. It's very, very okay. Yeah, because I've been voting since democratic period. But what I discovered today is that they really did a good job. Okay. There was no hassling, unlike the recent one. We know what we saw. You know, after accreditation, people begin to line up, and there was pushing and other things. But today, you just go straight, they capture you, you vote.
Okay.
To me, I think they did a very great job. You know, last time, I think there was a machine they used last time. But this beaver seems to be simpler because it doesn't take time to capture. Merely you get there, they will capture you. So my advice is that our government should try to upgrade more on these beavers so that next time we even see it easier than what we saw today.
Babatunde Oluwafemi, a presiding officer and a serving COF member, said the election went smoothly in Ojota area of Lagos.
Yes.
Okay, is there any challenge?
No, it has been working excellently well.
Okay,
it has been working very well, yes, sir.
Okay, how about the turnout of the people?
The turnout is sincerely, the turnout is fair, but not that encouraging. Okay. Not like what we are expecting. Okay. Yes.
So, in most polling units visited by Trust TV in Lagos, the electorate cast their vote peacefully and waited till the votes were counted. Abbas Ibrahim Alibi, Trust TV, Lagos.
Meanwhile, voters in the Buhari Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory say the conduct of the 2023 presidential and National Assembly elections was peaceful, save for the late arrival of INEC officials and commencement of voting. Trust TV's Aisha Salih reports that residents of Kubwa, Dutse Alhaji, Ushafa and Dede in the Buhari Area Council were not happy with the decongestion of the polling units by the electoral body prior to the election, saying it may have disenfranchised some residents who were unable to locate their polling units. The report.
Voters who stormed their polling units early Saturday morning had expected INEC officials to be punctual and ensure clarity in the voter register to ease identification of voters' voting centers. But the reality on ground was a far cry from that expectation.
People are patient because they are passionate about this. And so we are still waiting. We don't know how long they will take to come here.
Some people could not see their name pasted because of the way they arrange the names. So we have been going from one place to the other, checking in a door. We tried to using the phone, because they transfer some people from one polling unit because of the congestion of polling units.
Since morning, we've been trying to locate our polling units. We could not. Especially 023, we couldn't locate it. Especially most of us, we did our transfers from other places.
The pasting of name wasn't alphabetical. I have to locate my name somewhere else, though at the same environment, because we now have like 7 different polling units in Mopo Barrack here in Dede.
The new government that is coming in, we pray that it is somebody that will wipe off our tears, most especially the pensioners.
This is my first time voting, and I've decided to vote this time because we've been clamoring for a change, and we obviously cannot get a change from the comfort of our homes. So we're coming out to exercise our civic rights and actually be a part of the change we want to see.
We know we pass through different challenges economically, socially, and rest of them. And we all hope that after this period, we should be able to identify who that person that actually we are looking forward to make those changes.
Although there are complaints of misconduct on the part of political parties' agents, which was later handled by security operatives, INEC's promise of priority voting privilege for persons living with disabilities was said to be flawed.
The only issue I'm having that the party agents are saying closer to the voting session, which we complain. Only the military guys were able to disperse them.
It can lead to vote buying. If you have given money to somebody somewhere, you need to come and check what they voted.
Meanwhile, the presidential elections in Maiduguri experienced peaceful voting but recorded low turnout, with voting starting late at most polling units. Beatrice Kurutsi, who captured the exercise, reports that citizens are hopeful that the new government will address the security challenges that have bedeviled the state over the years. His report.
The streets of Maiduguri had no vehicular movement within and around the metropolis. Despite that, some streets it's business as usual, with people roaming and few at the polling units for the elections. Most polling units across the metropolis commenced 9:15 in the morning, with very few residents already casted their votes after being accredited. But at the APC vice presidential candidate polling unit in Shetima Kukawa ward, INEC officials were yet to arrive until hours later. At 11:42 a.m., he casted his ballot.
The candidate that will emerge as the president I fervently believe that that person will be we hope and pray that God will grant him the wisdom and the generosity take it down. This is our wish. This is our prayers.
Meanwhile, proper voting in most visited polling units started past 11 and others by 1 p.m. of Saturday noon. Some voters complained of the beavers and the long hours of wait to exercise their franchise.
When we were here in the morning, we were told that the beavers was not functioning, so they had to take it to INEC before bringing it back. So now we are waiting for them to accredit us before we vote.
Very peaceful, and then no any harassment, nothing. I have voted who I wanted to vote freely without any problem.
As of the time of filing this report, voting was still ongoing in Maiduguri, and it's expected that voting will end officially by 5 p.m. Bitrus Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
And the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, on Sunday said that voting will continue in some polling units in Warri South, where the exercise was not concluded on Saturday. Delta State INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner Monday Udom disclosed this while addressing journalists at the INEC headquarters in Delta State. As at 5 p.m. on Saturday, eligible voters who had not cast their ballot resorted to chants of solidarity songs, appealing to INEC to extend the voting time to enable them vote. They lament that they were what they called poor performance of INEC officials in Warri South, which led to loss of hours. They are all expected to cast their votes this Sunday. Maiduguri's Monday market was on Sunday morning razed by fire. Thousands of shops and stores, including a bank, were affected by the early morning inferno, which began at about 2:40 a.m. The market has been under flames for several hours as men of the fire service struggled to contain it. The cause of the fire, which has not recorded any human casualty, remains unknown.
It has happened before, but it's not up to this extent. It's not up to this extent. I have been here for 31 good years, so I have never seen it in this way.
All my goods have been burned to ashes. I sell jeans, jerseys, packing shirts, and lots more. I'm appealing to the government to please come to our help, because the fire incident on Monday market have made all shop owners helplessly helpless.
The cause of the fire is unknown at the moment. We arrived since after 3 in the morning, 3 a.m. After 3 a.m. in the morning, our men arrived. Both the men of Federal Fire Service, State Fire Service, and University Fire Service, and including the Military Fire Service, all arrived since after 3. Yeah, so far we are able to cut off the spread of the fire. The market is separated into different segments, so we're able to cut it off to contain the fire in a specific location so that it won't escalate to other units.
Still with us on Trust TV News Update. Still ahead. We'll take a look at how persons with disability fared during the elections. Details of this and more after the break. Stay with us.
Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now let's take another look at our top stories. Coalition of election results commences nationwide. And voting continues in some polling units as persons with disability expressed mixed feelings on electoral process. And moving on to other news now. Electorate in Bauchi State on Saturday came out in their numbers for the presidential and National Assembly elections. In several polling units visited within Bauchi local government area, voters were seen queuing to vote despite issues of malfunction with the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS. Trust TV's Adam Imam reports.
At Saadu Zungur polling units in the state capital, voters patiently waited for officials as voting proper did not commence as scheduled by INEC due to delay in the distribution of sensitive materials at the collection centers. Shortly after voting, some voters are hopeful that things will change for the better with the new government.
The process, as you can see, the place is very peaceful. Everything is going as expected without any problem. So far, we have not encountered any issues from the INEC officials, including the securities here. They are very friendly and there's any problem.
Most of the people, I think it's not very bad. Only in some little occasions I saw somebody who spent about 5 minutes, but mine was about a minute and it was done. So I think it was a very nice arrangement.
On the flip side, some did not vote at the Bauchi Club polling units because of BVAS malfunction, which was later restored. While at the Bakariduku Center, voting was delayed as a result of a rowdy election materials distribution exercise that was allegedly caused by change of INEC ad hoc staff for some polling units.
We come to collect our material for the INEC. So when we come, the INEC, the name that INEC placed on the ground or in PDF is not the name that you used to call people to collect the. It's been like they are replacing the name with their own candidate. It's not the really candidate that INEC give them. So that's why the things is getting chaos here. There's no any peace of mind there. So now we are trying to get our justice here. That's where we are here.
The problem we get is from the POs, the assistant presiding officers. They are the one that used to give us. But unfortunately, because of the large number of the people that stay in this surrounding or in the collection center, it is just now we just collect it.
The presidential and National Assembly elections in Bauchi State were largely conducted in a peaceful atmosphere, while the resident electoral commissioner alongside security agents went round to observe the conduct in some polling units. Adami Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Meanwhile, persons with disabilities in some states have expressed dissatisfaction with some of the challenges they faced while trying to cast their votes. They made their feelings known shortly after casting their votes. The report.
In Jos, the Plateau State capital, visually impaired persons after casting their ballots said they are not happy with the process despite having the opportunity to vote. The blind persons who were elated to be part of the election say they were not happy that the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) did not provide braille ballot which would have guided them on which party and the candidate to vote for.
I'm not satisfied because I feel from the bottom of my heart the person who guided me, he will not vote my choice. It's his choice, but if it is the braille guide, I will choose my vote. I will choose my opinion.
That is the person you prefer.
Yeah, okay. To choose to become a president.
In Kaduna State, the PWDs expressed worry over the difficulties they encounter while casting their votes, as no provision was made to ease their difficulties as earlier promised by INEC.
We have a man number in this no use so many what arrive. He is dead and the billing at the church. We have about 100 people in number. Most of our people election is this but many years we come at the election, but no one of this political dispute or meet or run at the security I need to produce.
Over in Maiduguri, IDP camps voting recorded poor participation at the El Miskin camp. Some displaced persons in the camp said they were unaware that the elections were ongoing, while others said they had no PVCs. However, a few of them who had cast their ballots want the new government to intervene in the Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorism war in the northeast to enable them return to their communities.
I don't have PVC. They didn't give us, like me and these two other women didn't know today is election. We only hope the government have compassion on us and give us food. I lost my PVC, and you know if I go there, they won't allow me to vote. It's only my wife that has it, and she has gone to vote. We want the government to bring peace to our communities.
Across the states, they are hopeful that all needed logistics that will make voting easier for them in subsequent polls will be provided.
And rather than exercise their franchise, youth in the Alekusho area of Ibadan Northwest Local Council of Oyo State took to the streets to engage in various sporting activities. Speaking with newsmen, the youth said the late arrival of electoral personnel and what they termed as worsening economic situation in the country was responsible for their action.
The only reason that I see is that maybe the current situation of our country, I mean the cashless policy that caused everything. That is first. Secondly, the INEC official, they did not come early today. I think they just arrived now, maybe 30 minutes past. They just arrived to their polling unit. They just arrived.
INEC official, they are late before they come this morning. If we were outside before they come, because I've been outside since 7 o'clock. So, and I'll go there to go and take my number. So before anything, I'll go back to go and test my face.
And now for a look at the foreign scene, where investigations have been launched against more than 600 people over the buildings that collapsed in Turkey's catastrophic earthquakes earlier this month. The country's Justice Minister Bekir Bozdak said on Saturday that 184 of the 612 suspects had been jailed pending trial. Those in custody included construction contractors and building owners or managers, he said in televised comments from a coordination center in southwest Turkey. The aftermath of the 7.8 and 7.6 magnitude earthquakes on February 6, which led to more than 44,000 deaths in southern Turkey and more than 5,500 deaths in northern Syria, has seen many Turks question the structural integrity of many of the 173,000 buildings that collapsed or were seriously damaged. Opposition parties have accused President Erdogan's administration of failing to enforce building regulations. And with that, we wrap up Trust TV News Update for this hour. For more news, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.